sorry. Doing last minute adjustments. Okay, the camera seems to really want to bend. That's okay, it's like you're watching a movie. You know? It's like, wow, you're watching a movie. You got your field of view is slightly lowered. It's like you're really there. Okay. Hey. So, I said I'd be doing this, and I'm doing it. So here is more VHS gameplay. I thought it'd be kind of cool to, oh, sorry. I gotta emulate the movie feel. Let me do this. There we go. It's like you're really there. So, like I said I'd be doing this, and now I'm doing it. So, so this is, sorry, I gotta sip some Dr. Pepper. That's good Dr. Pepper. So like I said, what is... Oh, is that what it's capturing? I'm seeing like a weird... You seeing that too? Maybe you're not. Maybe that's just on my end, actually. That might just be on my end. I'm seeing a weird hazy bar at the top of the screen, but it only appears where the live symbol might be, so that might just be on my end. Basically, kind of it highlighting, you know, this is you're live. And I'm like, oh, wow, thanks. So anyway, this is a way for me to get through these VHSs much faster, and it allows for commentary. You know, I mean, I could have had commentary in the previous videos, but, you know, it's more fun here. You can ask me questions like, when did you record this? How long has it been since you recorded this? What's your favorite color? I can answer that one immediately, but you have to ask me at first. Okay, so let's get started. So this is VHS 3. We left off on this one. You can't see it, but it is Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me. Except I recorded over it, so it's not that anymore. So, can't remember where the play button is. Alright. So, last we left off on Burnout Revenge. So, I don't actually own this game anymore. At least this version of it. This was played on my original Xbox, which I don't own that anymore, actually. Do you know why? Not because I wanted to sell it, but because it crapped out on me. My original Xbox actually had trace rot, which I should have known the telltale signs immediately, or at least I should have known over a long period of time, because you know, I kind of feel annoyed that I never actually caught the signs of it. Like, you know, the obvious thing would be that my, you know, the obvious thing would be that it would have a really hard time turning off. You'd press that power button, nothing would happen. You have to really press it down for it to turn off. And on top of that, you know, the second you put it in, you put the outlet in, it would immediately, it would just immediately turn on. And I should have noticed those signs, but I didn't, and it was too late. By the time I really figured out what was happening, the system already crapped out. So this is actually played on my original Xbox, a console that I do not own anymore, and I don't own this game anymore because this game is not backwards compatible. There's a ton of EA games that are backwards compatible on 360. Tons and tons and tons of them. Even stuff like, I think all the NFL and the FIFA games and the NBA, or no, wait, NBA wasn't made by EA, but yeah, all the FIFA games and all the NFL games, and I think all the NHL games as well, are weirdly backwards compatible, which it's like, why? Like, why, you know, why go through that effort to make those backwards compatible? Because those are kind of games where, like, those are games where you'd want to not be backwards compatible. You'd want to play the most recent Madden game. I don't know why you'd go through the effort. But whatever the case, this was a game that was not backwards compatible. Luckily, I do own it digitally. I own it digitally on 360, and now that I have the Xbox Series X, I own it digitally on that console. But this version, I do not own anymore. And sadly, something you might not know about Burnout Revenge, this game gets very stale very quickly, and I really burnt myself out on it. It's one of those things where I don't know when I'm going to go back to Burnout Revenge because of just how I burnt myself out of it. I got so burnt out of this game. I played this for, well, to put it in perspective, I'm playing multiple games during this session. I played Burnout Revenge, then I swapped to another game, then I swapped to another game. You know, over and over again. If you watched my previous one, I played Cars right before this. And I'll come back to Cars. I'll finish Cars. But I think I played this over the span of like 4 VHSs, and every single, I mean, I really shouldn't have played this game for that long. I really should have just kind of stopped and not given up, but just really taken a long break from it. Because I wore myself out from this game. By the end of it, I was genuinely just so ready to stop playing. You know, for the life of me, I was like, please, for the love of God, please make this end. I was genuinely feeling that. I was like, oh my God. But this was recorded a while back. This was when I was still in college, is when this was recorded. So this was, I think this was recorded, ooh, it's hard to tell. I think this was like August, I think. It was either like August or like July, sometime last summer, because it was, or no, it wouldn't have been last summer. No, yeah, it wasn't last summer. Or no, maybe it wasn't. This might actually be like a year old. I don't know. This may actually be past a year old recorded over VHS. This, although I feel like it's probably August is when I recorded this, most likely. I highly doubt it was anything before that. But probably on the verge of being a year old. Because I do know this, I took a very long hiatus from recording VHSs, probably for like, I'd say like 3 months, I just did not record a single VHS. So this could be from like January of last year. Okay, I take that back. It would not be January of last year, because January of last year I was doing, I was picking games off. I was picking games randomly. That's what I was doing last year for a pretty long period of time. I'd say a span of like 5 months. I would just pick a game at random, and then I shifted over to alphabetical, which is when these videos were recorded. So yeah, I'd say definitely like at the earliest like March of last year. But most likely these are recorded around, you know, June, July. But you're gonna see a lot of Burnout Revenge footage for the coming VHSs. You're gonna see a lot of Cars footage for the coming VHSs. If you saw my last part, you saw World Driver Championship, I think. And that's actually the last time you'll be seeing that game. That game I got stuck on pretty quickly. I still get stuck on pretty quickly. So that's actually the last you'll be seeing of World Driver championship. So I think at this point in time, I was only playing two games that used S-video cables, which was an Xbox game and a GameCube game. Because at this point in time, I think PS1, I think I was playing that as well, but this was before I used the PS2 for a or you know what? I've rearranged my shelves since I last, played this. So this might have been the only two, and I was just kind of swapping between the two a bunch. Because I know around this time, I think I was playing like a Switch game as well. I know that, yes, I was playing a Switch game. I don't know which one. Oh, it would have been Crash Bandicoot 4. Crash Bandicoot 4. So I was definitely playing that. I remember that. I was playing that around this time. Or maybe I might have gotten to Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze at that point. I don't know. But I was definitely playing one of those. Or maybe I was at Cruisin' Blast. Do you remember Cruisin' Blast? That game was fun. I sold it, and honestly, I don't regret selling it. I think Cruisin' Blast has a lot of issues. It feels very cheap, but I think it has a lot of charm to it. And I don't regret selling it, but maybe at some point, if I find it on the cheap for like $10, I might go and pick it up. But I think currently it's still in like $20 to $30, which it's too much money I want to spend on it. I sold that one for the Xbox. But yeah, so lots of burnout footage. Lots and lots of burnout footage. I only kind of stop playing the game whenever I'm just, kind of in the mood to stop. So it'll be a bit, most likely, until Burnout Revenge ends, until I swap over to the next game. Who knows? This may actually last the rest of the VHS. It really depends. Some play sessions might last for 20 minutes, some might last for an hour, some might only go on for like 10 minutes and then I stop. It is totally up in the air. And it also might be a thing where, one play session might end and then the next play session I have, I'm right back to Burnout Revenge. It's totally up in the air. I think nowadays it's more up in the air than it was then. Nowadays, I'm still doing the whole, I'm still doing the alphabetical order type thing, but I'm a lot more open to trying out multiple different games back to back, instead of focusing really on like one game, just trying to get it finished. So like right now, my most recently recorded VHS, in that one VHS has footage of a SNES game, a GameCube game, and I think it has footage of... It's the same GameCube game, but it's a collection. So it's got footage from like 4 different games from that collection, and footage of a SNES game. And footage of 3 Wii games. So, I'm very open to kind of jumping around games. And they jump around pretty frequently. In that, like I said, my most recent VHS, the first, 20 minutes is that SNES game. And then we jump to 3 Wii games back-to-back in a span of, 45... not 45 minutes, like an hour. And then we play, the GameCube collection for, another 30 minutes, and then that's the end of the VHS. But here it's a lot of burnout. Lots and lots and lots of burnout. Until the VHS ends. Which, I don't know when it's going to end, but I'm not going to start up another VHS during this live stream. I'll just finish up this VHS, and then the next live stream I'll do the entirety of another VHS. But if you kind of want to know where these VHSs head off to, I I go on the Xbox collection. I go into the H's, so that's how far I go into. Ending off with Halo 2, which sadly I ran out of VHSs right before I beat Halo 2, so you're gonna see like everything up till the ending. Um, and then as for the GameCube, I got right up to the M's. So I was on Madagascar and then I stopped. So the last game that'll actually be seen on here for the GameCubes is Jimmy Neutron, Attack of the Twonkies until we move back to the GameCube much later on. So that's going to be probably VHS number 40, 45, 40, 45, one of those two. And then you'll finally see, GameCube gameplay. We won't show up until much, much later. Probably VHS like 40 is when Wii shows up. PS1 isn't too far off. It took me a little bit to play PS2, PS1 games, but it's definitely pretty far in. Probably like VHS 25. And then I didn't play, SNES games or Super Game Boy games until a very, very long point in. So, like I said, for right now, you'll be expecting a lot of Burnout Revenge, a lot of Cars, until I eventually, move on to something else. And I think, do I just restart this? I think I actually restarted. Or no. I know there's, after you... Burnout Revenge, like I said, it's a very repetitive game. And, after a little while, you start to just kind of get more annoyed with it. It's one of those games where the more and more you play it, you're like, the fatigue is wearing on you, and you get to the point where you don't really want to try that hard. So, if you get, like, totaled a ton of times, you're just like, man, I want to stop playing. and then you just start, restarting just to try and do better. But yeah, out of all of my consoles at the time that used AV, I think the Xbox was my lowest possible quality. Just something to do with those AV cables, man. That when hooking it up to my original VHS player, just would not compute. The GameCube was definitely the best looking on that original VHS, but yeah, this one, very blurry. Very, very blurry. That's the big thing that you'll notice, is that the Xbox games look extremely blurry. So not a lot of, super interesting stuff happens during this. Much later on into the Burnout VHSs, I do encounter a glitch. And I think I showed off that glitch at some point. But it was a pretty cool glitch. But, it's pretty late into the game. I'm only on, was it the second? Yeah, unsafe. I'm only on unsafe. So... Oh, and I just got reckless. So... That's cool. You won the mortified R165 Street, or is that ST? Is it just ST, or is it the abbreviation for Street? So I remember these crash mini games on or these crash missions. Oh, Carl's Jr. Yay! These crash missions are actually different than they are in the console version. Only slightly, or not the console version, the HD version. Only slightly. The main distinct difference is that the intro is different. So, um, so the intro you have to kind of do this like burnout thing where you kind of press A twice, and I think in the console version you just get a running start. It's simple, something simple like that. Yeah, I think this one I actually have to restart because I only crashed into one lane, so yeah, I had to retry that because everybody on the other lane just did not get hit at all. Um, these revenge mission or these crash missions are really annoying. I remember them being the most annoying factor of this entire game. Every single crash mission I remember really disliking, really disliking, and I still don't like them. The idea of like, the idea is interesting of like, oh, you're gonna go at super fast speeds and then crash into a bunch of cars, but it's very much luck based. You have to get that perfect jump, you have to get that perfect hit on a car, and then you have to hope that all the other pieces fall into place. Because if one of those things is messed up, you're not going to do well in it, and I think that's really dumb. But hey, that's just me. I mean, I know a lot of people love these crash missions, which is cool. That's good for them. But I don't like them. Oh yeah, and if you go too far out of bounds, it forces you to retry, which is pretty cool. My goal there was gonna try and hit a car. That like I was gonna kind of drive a bit and then hit a car, but it just forced me to restart. And then every time you retry, you have to go through this long cutscene again, as it's loading the level up again. It's just really annoying and tedious and not very fun. See, and then I missed the jump right there. I definitely know by now I'm getting more and more upset. Every retry, I'm getting more upset. I remember that. I remember getting more upset. There you go. See, that's a good one. That actually hit both lanes. Um, or did that only hit one? No, I think that hit both lanes. No, it only hit one. Never mind. Yeah, see, I end up having to retry that again because I still didn't get enough stars. Um, you really need to, again, all the pieces need to be put perfectly into place for you to get a good enough rating to kind of move on. And that's what's so annoying about these crash missions is it's very luck based, very luck based, and it requires just trying it over and over and over again until hopefully you get it perfect and everything comes into play. Um, so it's just really annoying to constantly have to retry because you gotta wait for this. You did absolutely nothing, and yet you still have to go through this entire thing. It's just such a long loading screen. When you're trying really fast to retry these, that feels like an eternity. You'd think, given that it's the exact same stage, there really wouldn't be that long of a loading screen, but there is, and It's really annoying because of that. But see, this one didn't work either because again, the other side of the road, like there's nothing there. So I'm still not gonna get enough to really, go anywhere. I'll get enough for a 3-star, which is nice, but nothing really crazy. There you go. Yeah, I got lucky on that one. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah, medal awarded. So you need a medal to get stuff. You need it. You need a medal. You need bronze, silver, and gold. And I still did not. Throughout all that, I still did not get enough. And look at how long this loading screen is. God, I remember being so insanely frustrated doing these crash missions. I still remember it. Watching this footage just takes me completely back to being just so freaking annoyed at these crash missions. They're completely unfun. They're fun for a very brief second, and that's when you crash into somebody, and then immediately I'm gonna have to restart this because I'm gonna just crash into a wall. Yep. So, and eventually I just quit. I know exactly how I felt during that point. I was so freaking done with that. And I might actually move over to cars now, considering how annoyed I... No, okay. Do I try it again? No? I'm kind of curious what I end up doing right now. Oh, okay. Nope, just move on to the next segment, I kind of thought by now I'd actually swap over to cars, considering how annoyed I was, but nope, I'm still going. Still going strong. But I feel like this VHS is almost done. We're at the 24-minute mark. I feel like we're probably like 10 minutes away from the VHS ending. Yeah, I always found funny that in Burnout Revenge, you got, you got praised for doing basically nothing. There's literally, it's like, great checking, great drifting, great driving. There's literally like, it's like, oh, you're going forward for a long amount of time. Good job. Some kind of funny. You get praised for everything you do. Yeah, good boosting. You're holding the A button. Great job. Just crashed into. It might be one of these missions that the glitch happens because I'm trying to recall what stage it was that the glitch where I fell through the floor happened, and I think it's here. So it may be kind of a later one in this world that the glitch where I fall through the floor happens. Um, it's so cool when you record a glitch, because it's like it's your one-time thing, um, and it's so cool when you know I had a glitch. I think I showed it off in a previous VHS, but it was that other car just gave up. That other car literally just vanished from the screen. But there's a glitch like in World Driver Championship where it was weirdly choppy, and that glitch is fine. That glitch is an okay glitch, and then of course you have the cars glitch, which I think I showed off previously, where everything froze and the music overlapped, and then it said, this game disc cannot be read, and that was a neat little glitch. But the glitches that are the most cool is this burnout glitch, which comes up somewhat soon, where I fall through the floor and it looks really cool. So, and it's all weird and looks cool, and those are the cool kind of glitches. But I'm really curious how long I spend on this before swapping over to cars. Yeah, see, like, that one was really annoying because, you know, I did all that damage and stuff, and I only got a bronze. And that's it. That's it for VHS number 3. So, there you go. Thank you for watching, and we will go to VHS number 4 in the next stream. There you go.